Welcome to Dollar Gujarati, a show about successful Gujarati entrepreneurs and professionals in America. We talk with them about their ideas and struggles on the road to success in this land of opportunity. As immigrants ourselves, we want to understand the different paths that successful immigrant Gujaratis have taken to establish themselves. This will also help us to navigate our journey in America.
Hi guys, our guest today is Dr. Sudhir Parikh. Dr. Sudhir is a 2010 Padmashree Awardee. He is also a recipient of the 2005 Ellis Island Medal of Honor, which is the highest civilian honor for US immigrants. Both of these awards were given to him for his contribution to community service. He is a specialist in allergy, asthma, and immunology and has grown his private practice from New Jersey. Dr. Sudhir is also the chairman of Parikh Worldwide Media Inc., which is the largest Indian American publishing group in the United States. We're very happy to have you on our show, Dr. Parikh. You did not study in America, but got an opportunity through your work as a pediatric residency student in Gujarat. Take us through your decision not to come to the USA in the first place, and then what changed your mind about coming to America?
I was at age in 20, 10, when I was teenager, I was always have some kind of patriotic nationalist feeling. So I always thought, I had a chance to go out of the India before I did my pediatric residency. But then I decided to do no pediatric residency because I wanted to go abroad, come back and practice and serve my own people in Ahmedabad. However, of course, destiny is something different. So when I was a kind of coming from a middle class parents' son. We have 5 brothers, sisters. Father was government officer. We used to live in a very small government apartment, about, I would say, 600-700 square feet, with the 7 people of us, 5 brothers, sisters, and parents. And so I used to read during daytime in the park or under the tree in some area in our society. And at night time, when because of everybody sleeping, I used to read, putting my chair in the bathroom shower, and I used to read, study myself. And of course, rest of the time in the library, in the college or medical school. And from there, I did a pediatric residency from BJ Medical College. And during that residency, I happened, one WHO consultant came to our department in 1971-72. And he liked my work. He was there on WHO assignment for 1 year, and he liked so much. So he offered me that, am I interested in coming to England? So I, that time also passed my ECFMG too. So I could have come directly to America from India. But I had some nostalgic feeling about England, because as you know, English people ruled us 200 years. When we were child, during our childhood, we heard a lot of things about English people, English lifestyle, English gentleman's etiquette, and so forth, and culture. So I thought I must go to, and plus all my teachers in Ahmedabad, BJ Medical College, they all were either MRCP, means if they're physician, they're MRCP qualified, or FRCS. So that was my kind of, I said, let me go to England. America, I can go. I'm not interested in going to America. I will go to England, do my membership or MRCP, and come back and open up my store on Relief Road, or Ritchie Road, whatever. I think Ritchie Road that time, right? And so that was my immediate thinking. But then when the consultant told me that, would you like to come to England? So my father told me that, what is your kind of security there? So are you getting job? So I said, no, consultant offered me 1 month, 4 weeks of job. Only 4 months temporary job as a resident in one of the hospital in London. So I said, let me go there and we'll see after 4 weeks what happens. So I, from Ahmedabad, I arrived in London. After 4 weeks, that consultant happened to be in that same hospital. So he gave me that job for 4 weeks. And then he said that, why don't you come to, there is a hospital called St. Bartholomew Hospital in London, which is like Harvard here in USA. It was founded by oldest medical school, founded by Henry II in 11th century. And there, in order to get the residency one, you have to have MRCP pass. So and out of 600 doctors in that hospital, there was none Asian doctor. Not Indian, forget about Indian, Asian doctor. So then this doctor asked me to, why don't you apply here? Because he was very fond of me or my work. So I applied there. And I went there for residency interview. And there were 14 consultants were sitting to take my interview, which is the lowest of totem pole position. And even one of the 14 consultants even told me that, Dr. Parikh, you are here before your time. But anyway, interview went well, and I got the job. I came to USA on vacation, and then my sister was here, and she said that, listen, why don't you come to USA? There is more money here, more life is better, quality of the life better, education is much better than England. So I said, no, but I'm at St. Bartholomew Hospital. So I'm the only Indian physician there out of 600 doctors. So I feel so good about myself. But then, then I say, okay, if I get directly second or third year of residency in good hospital in New York City, then I will come. And with my luck, good luck, I got it. And that's how I left England after 2.5 years of staying there and came to USA, did 1 year of residency, and then did 2 years of asthma, allergy, immunology fellowship. It means whatever I did in England, I got credit for that, which is very unusual because usually any doctor comes here, they have to start from the internship and go forward. So I was lucky that way that I did whatever time I spent in England was paid up here by not repeating myself doing that training. And after that, I decided I took this fellowship in allergy, asthma, and immunology, which is very elite fellowship in our medical field. And it was that time, this was 50 years ago, I'm talking about in 70s. That time it was only limited to small group of the Jewish doctor. And luckily here also I came in contact when I was doing my residency in St. Luke's Columbia Hospital. I came into contact with the one Jewish doctor who was also had a good feeling for me and good feeling in a sense that he liked my work, and he helped me to get this asthma, allergy, and immunology fellowship.
Did that Jewish doctor become your mentor? Was he the person
Yes.
who guided you in your decision making?
Yes. Because I was debating that whether should I be a cardiologist, because most of our Indian friends either they go into anesthesia or cardiology or gastroenterology, but asthma, allergy, immunology, nobody was going because nobody was getting it because it's all limited to in whole country. That time there were only 30 openings, 30. But luckily, through the Columbia doctor who was my mentor, he helped me out to get this one. And I become asthma, allergy, and immunology specialist.
After you graduated from your allergy immunization specialty,
Right.
Did you work at a hospital or did you start your private practice immediately?
No, I started private practice next day because I knew my goal was very clear. When I came to this, when I left India, of course, at that time I wanted to go back to India, but then I decided that I will get the best education in the world and I will use that best education for for my noble profession, and that's why I wanted to do the practice. So right after I finished my fellowship in asthma allergy in end of June, and I started my practice on 1st of August within 1 month, and that was started by myself. I knew that I'm going to be very busy because there were not allergists in only 4 or 5 allergists in the whole state of New Jersey. So I say, and Hoboken is not only in New Jersey, it's across the Manhattan. So I used to get a lot of patients from Manhattan as well as from New Jersey.
So did you require any investment to start your practice?
No, actually, I just rented one space and then send out my introduction to all the internal medicine doctor and pediatric doctors that what is my qualifications, and then within no time I got so busy.
So how did you select Hoboken, New Jersey as the place to start your practice? Why Hoboken?
Why Hoboken? Because see, I was trained in the New York City, right? I was at Columbia, and then I was at Metropolitan Miss New York Medical College, Metropolitan Hospital. And that time I was, very familiar with the Hoboken area, and it was very up and trendy place to, and we're close to the New York City. I was young, right? That time, I was only 33, 34. And now I'm 74, so that's the difference. So that many years ago, so that's why I selected Hoboken. And Hoboken was that time very trendy and young people with the young population. So asthma, allergy, immunology is usually a disease of the young adults and in people from the 30s to 60s and 70s. So that's how I started in Hoboken. And then, as I said, then I was so busy in first in a year or two, so I decided. An idea came in my mind that how should I expand myself, And then that time I wrote a cold letter to 12 allergists around the tri-state area who were 75 and older. I said, these are the people probably might be interested in selling their practices. And as you know, in this country, medical practice can be bought and sold. It means it's like a commodity. It's like any other business. So I wrote 12 letters and 2 allergists responded to me, one in New York and one in New Jersey. So I bought practice, one in New York. We started negotiating with them. My philosophy was always like that always make a person who is selling the practice, make a doctor very comfortable, because most of the doctors are not businessmen. They are very skeptical about selling their practices because they are practicing last 40, 45 years and they don't want to give up things very easily. And they don't know what to do next because they have no other much interest and hobbies because medicine is their life, So I always tell them that, okay, I will acquire your practice, but you can work as long as you want to work, part-time, full-time, and as you wish to work. And only thing, I will take it over and I will manage it. And then slowly, if you want to work less hours, then I can introduce some young allergists there, and we'll work it out. And
so, what was the logic behind buying an existing practice rather than starting your own, say, for example, branded network of clinics?
No, because see, when you acquire 30, 40 years old practice, you not only acquired the medical practice, but you acquired the goodwill of the doctor. Also, along with that, you acquired the real estate building where he is practicing, because most of the successful doctors, because all the allergists are really very successful because it's a very lucrative specialty. So they all own their own office building and everything. So I say this is a way to even build up my real estate portfolio, right? So that's why I acquired, because once you start, it takes always gestation period is about 10 years to really get going. unless you are very lucky, which I happened to be when I started in Hoboken. But then the fastest way of doing is to acquire someone's practice.
And how did you decide what price you will buy it for? Like, what did you look at?
Well, that is also. I'm not MBA, but I think I'm a street smart. So I told them that, listen, I did not even get any money. I never borrowed any money from any bank. I told them, because I had one very good running practice in Hoboken myself, right? So I said that, listen, I will take over your practice. You can work. I will give you usually our kind of rule of thumb was to give 50% of their 1 year gross income. So I said, I will give you 50% of the money. I will give you some down, like 20% down, and remaining 80% I will pay you in 4 years' time. And you can work as long as you want to work. So what happened is the first seller, because seller is 70, 75 years of age, right? So they have to exit out. They have medical health problems themselves most of the time. And they're also looking for exit because they don't want to only sell the practice, but they have to sell their real estate too. And their real estate is only good for other doctor, not for anybody else, right? So I bought the real estate through the bank loan, of course, because you have to take mortgage, and the practice, no, zero down, and just give my promissory notes, give personal guarantee. Usually people don't like to give personal guarantee, but I was very willing to give personal guarantee. I give them even life insurance to make them beneficiary till I paid them out. So that way we acquired these practices. And now I'm the largest asthma, allergy, immunology practice in the country owned by one person. This is full-time. All practices are 35, 40 years old, mature practices with a lot of patients with them. This is from day one. The day I buy, there is a lot of revenue coming to my corporation. And so now we have 3 corporations, one for New Jersey, which we have 17 practices. Then we have New York City corporations where we have 4 practices, and then we have one Long Island corporations, which we have three more practices. And every time I require the practices, I also acquire the building. So I have collected without any effort 24 real estate buildings, right? So there is a lot of, and each time I collect this practice and building, the next practice I can give them a guarantee because they can see that what kind of asset I'm controlling, right? So for them, it makes them very comfortable.
Correct. And how do you go about managing these practices? Because it's difficult to manage so many.
Right. No, but what I did is, usually people who acquire any business, they try to cut the HR, means staff, right? And try to trim down the thing. I did not do that. I just assured them that, okay, if I take the practice of Dr. Smith in Manhattan, I would keep all the doctors, all the staff there. So the practice is running. I have all the infrastructure is not changed, right? And then we have kind of, that's why we have so many employees, that every practice has manager, and then by location, like a North Jersey, Central Jersey, South Jersey, Manhattan, Long Island, Westchester, we have another manager on top of them. And then my CEO comes, and my COO comes, and then I come.
Yeah. So you are a doctor by profession, but you also run a media company. How did you decide you wanted to be in the media business? And tell us how you started.
That is an interesting story. In 2009, say 8 or 9, yeah. When I turned 60, I had a 60th birthday celebration. So during that celebration, Pramukh Swami sent me the message Baba Ramdev sent me the message, Sri Ravi Shankar sent me the message, and a lot of congressmen and senators, they came during their celebration in my party. And we were talking, and then I asked everyone, those gurus, those who send me the messages, I send them only one question that, I have started American Physician of, one of the founding person of the API. I'm also started FIA, which does India Day Parade. I started, a lot of NGOs like Share and Care and Life Global. Plus, I did. Now I'm also founding member of the Global Physician of Indian Origin, which has 1.2 million doctors who are outside India. And I started that 7 years ago with the Dr. Pratap Reddy and other colleagues. So I have done all this thing. And also, I was driving force for India Caucus. I'm sure you know what is India Caucus is. It's a group of the congressmen in U.S. Congress which are pro-India. And that thing was started in 1992. And for that, I was given Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award by Abdul Kalam, President Abdul Kalam in 2006. Then also I was very much actively involved in US-India relations. And I was one of the core group of the person, 4 people with the Ambassador Ronan Sen. We started converting most of the congressmen and senators that time to help the India and to make US-India nuclear deal happen. And for that, I was recognized by Government of India with the Padmashree. And also, I was very much involved in NGOs part. And when tsunami happened and Gujarat earthquake happened, I traveled to Bhuj in 120 degree with the President Clinton, and we raised through American India Foundation almost $50 million because of the President Clinton's leadership. I asked during my 68th birthday, now what? Right? I have done all this thing. Socially, philanthropy-wise and everything. So they say that you must do something to empower second generation. So only and all these Sri Ravi Shankar, Baba Ramdev, Pramukh Swami, then one Jain Guru Acharya Muniji, I forgot her name. She was from the Virayatan. All those people told me that do something which empower the second generation. So then that time, luckily, the owner of the News India Times, the Desi Talk, Gujarat Times, Gopal Raju, passed away. And I was very close to him as a close friend. So his assistant, Meena Merchant, editor, she came to me and she said, Dr. Parikh, if you want this, if you're interested in buying our publishing house, then it's yours. Of course, at the right price. So then I said, well, I have done so much, and I always believe that how much money you make is not important. Nobody cares about that. But what legacy you leave, people cares about that. My son and daughter, they like Indian food, they like to go to India, but they don't have any bonding with India. And in order to do that, media is the most important role. Media plays very important role. And that's how that time, of course, luckily I was kind of well-heeled and I can afford to. So as a part of the community service, I bought that publishing house. And then I bought the TV channel. So, and luckily, with my luck, whatever you call it, good luck, that all my competitors died down. India Abroad is gone. Indian Express is gone. India Post is not printing now. No TV is surviving. So this call, and really, I feel so good that I'm really connecting between second generation to the Mother India and our community. Between medical and media together, we have 500 plus employee, and we also have establishment back home in Ahmedabad, from where Gujarat Times publishes, prepares it and then publishes here. And what I was traveling to California. This is a story. I think it's a good story to tell. And I was sitting on the gate to board the plane, right, to come back to New York City, New York. So then two elderly Gujarati looking gentlemen came to me, and they came to and completely they શું કહેવાય આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં દંડવટ કર્યા મને. તો મેં કહ્યું કે who are you? I don't know you. તો કે Dr. Parikh, you don't know us, but we know you. You have saved our Gujarati language, because that time if I would not have bought the Gujarat Times 10 years ago, today there would not be any Gujarati newspaper in this country. So Gujarati newspaper in a sense that good Gujarati newspaper or what you call well-structured Gujarati newspaper. And so they were saying, those two gentlemen were telling me that we have one magazine, pull-out magazine in every week called Saptak. And all the big Gujarati writers writes into that, like Balwan Jani, Bhagyas Jha, Gunwan Bhai, Pathak, Ramesh Pathak, they all write into every week. And they said they have collected 10 years of those pull-out magazine from the Gujarat Times. So then I felt that even though I spend my own money, I never ask any friend to invest in this thing, because I know that publishing is a high-risk business. So I never asked anybody to do that, because this was my baby and my passion and my dream to connect to the community and make community better. So I did it, and they were so appreciative. So I felt that, okay, it doesn't matter how much it costs me, it's worth doing it, because at least these two gentlemen is saying that I'm sure there are so many like that, them who must be appreciating me.
I had a question. Your entire life journey seems like a series of successes, right from getting the opportunity to go to UK, to come to America, and then getting into this niche specialty of allergy, asthma, and immunization. And then your media company and your network of practices. Our listeners are actually sometimes might feel that Dr. Sudhir is a Superman, but we are ordinary human beings and we will face failure. So do you have any story where you have faced a challenge and it failed and learned from it?
Well, I never had a failure, but I had a lot of challenges. As I told you, that when I was in the college and medical school, I did not have, because of our family structure, and father was government officer, so we did not have enough place or facility to study, right? Because all brothers sisters were studying the same time. So that was a challenge. Sometime when I left India for first time to go to England for that 4 weeks of job, I had to borrow money from one of my relatives. Of course, I paid back within less than 1 year, but that's a challenge. Then when I went to, as I told you, when I went to interview for St. Bartholomew Hospital, that one of the consultants told me that Dr. Parikh, you are before your time. It means he was insulting me in a sense. That I'm the foreigners and I don't have MRCP, so I should not be. It is premature for me to be there, because even English doctors, local doctor cannot be there unless they pass primary MRCP or primary FRCS in that particular hospital. So there are the challenges, but luckily somebody was watching me, but my persistency, my honesty, hard work, and of course the way I carry myself, I think it paid off.
So what are some of your insights about being an entrepreneur on top of being a practicing doctor?
I never act as a employer. Of course, there are some rules and regulations they have to follow, but otherwise I kind of more of equal. And I always respect them. I think that's the key to the success in the life, in any business life. Because unless you respect your employee, they're not going to respect you. Of course, then second thing is honesty. Doesn't matter what happens, always you have to stay honest. Number 3 is a persistency. And number 4 is put your ideas or thinking into action. For example, on 60th birthday, there was the day before that, I never had any idea about buying media, right? But that day, everybody was saying that, no, you should do something like this. So I say, and it happened that Gopal Raju, my friend, passed away the same week. His assistant came to me, that Dr. Parikh, Gopal was saying that you are so close to him, and if you're really interested in buying this thing, acquiring our media group, we would like to talk to you. So when I always believe that when opportunity comes to you, you don't think twice and grab it. Don't get scared of it. Don't be worry about it. Don't think. Of course, you have to think long term, but don't worry about failure in the future. If fails, that's fine.
I also had a question about immigration. So, જ્યારે તમે USA આવ્યા હતા, that time immigrating to USA was far more easier than what it is today. And me and some of my friends are facing this. I mean, if you are Indian origin, Indian born, your green card may take more than your entire lifetime. And I think that having a political will to change something about the immigration policy is necessary to bring about changes. So તમને શું લાગે છે that is it worth?
Let me tell you, I mean, not only what I think, but what I did. Probably you don't know that part of my history. That in early 90s, there was one organization called Indian American Forum for Political Education. Because I was founding president, and at that time I always believed that in order to claim a piece of pie, American pie, you have to be a part of the American politics. Okay, otherwise nobody will care for you. So, as an immigrant, when that time I was on a green card, I didn't have even citizenship. So we started this organization. We started giving internship to the college graduates 1 or 2 months with our own expense, not only my expense, but me and my friends' expense. And out of those, Bobby Jindal, he was our intern. Okay. And then this, Chukul, I don't know whether he's a New Jersey assemblyman, he was our intern. Then Kumar Barve, who is also assemblyman from the Washington, D.C. area, he was our intern. So that shows that when we gave them internship to expose them to government working, and they got interested, and they become a very successful lawmaker. And that's a great satisfaction, right? So, yeah. So what I'm saying is, even today, most of the immigrants, they stay aloof. They don't take part in the American politics because they think that, I'm on H-1B visa, why should I worry about who wins and who loses? But that's not the way to do it. When we came here, from early 80s, and we started getting involved in the fundraising, because American politics works with the fundraising, right? All the election works with the fundraising. All the candidate wants money during election time. So we all did that, and unless you do that, you don't have access to the power. And because we did so much that time in late 80s and 90s, we were driving force for formation of the India caucus, which is today's India and US relation. This great relationship comes from that 92 formation of the India caucus. Unless you involve, what I'm trying to say, that this H-1B visa graduate, green card holders, everybody has to get involved in politics. You may think that why should I get involved? What am I going to get out of it? You may not get anything, but you are doing for your brother and sisters. Why I did all this thing, and why I spend all my, still I'm doing it. I mean, after 30-40 years of this work, I'm still doing it. That shows that you have to do for somebody. For second generation, why did I buy the media for second generation? I don't need media. I have enough comfortable life with my medical practices. I could have just keep playing golf and have a good time, right? But I did this thing because I believe in it, and that's how people remember you. People don't remember whether you have 200 million in your bank or 500 million.
Yeah.
People only remember what you did good for others. So all these 4 awards, I got it because of I did something. I during my prime time of medical career, in spite of busy career, running so many practices, I able to take time out on evening or weekend to do all this thing. And that's what people, young people should learn from me, that there is always way if you have will. There is nothing like, in the life, there's nothing like that you are very busy or you don't have time. There's always time. Only thing you have to do is you have to reshuffle your priorities.
Awesome. And so thank you, Dr. Sudhir, for coming on our show.
I hope you got a good story from me, at least, you know.
Thanks for listening to the show this week. And if you want to ask us any questions or want to see someone specific on our show, write to us at dollargujarati@gmail.com. You can also tweet to us at dollargujarati. Make sure you don't miss any episode by subscribing to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or however it is that you get your podcast. I'm Dakshaday Shah, and you've been listening to Dollar Gujarati.